I am Marva Nichols, Miss Grambling State University, 1991-92, and guest journalist for MTMV Sports. And today I have the pleasure of hosting the new head football coach at Grambling State University, Coach Hue Jackson. Welcome, Coach. How are you doing today?
Marva, I'm doing great. How are you doing today?
Oh, Coach, I'm excited. I was there last weekend. I had a blast. It was a humongous energy in the hole on last Saturday. And, you know, the spring game was a little different than it has always been. Um, I've gone to several spring games in the past. So tell us, how did it make you feel when you walked down the slope into the hole with the G-men and the fans and the band and the guests watching?
You know what, Marva? It was amazing just to walk down in a hole and think about all the legends who have coached there and played there before me. But more so than that, to see our fans, what you just mentioned, the people showed up and showed out. We had the band, we had G-Man Nation, we had fans of just people who wanted to be involved in what we were doing. We had the pivot group. We had so many people that were there to support exactly what we're trying to build here at Grambling State University. I was amazed and happy as I could be.
Oh my God, I was too, because again, I've attended spring games and it was never that kind of energy. And I got a chance to go over to the G-Men Nation tailgate, and our legend, Coach Wilbert Ellis, was over there speaking with them and telling them to continue to stick together and support Grambling State University football. They even sang our school alma mater song. And I saw some of the guys even on the sideline. I think I saw Alfred Payton on the sideline. He's a former G-Man and CFL Hall of Famer. And again, they were very present. And you personally invited them. And I think that kind of made the world of difference. Like when they showed up, how did that really make you feel? And I heard they gave some donations. Tell us about that.
It made me feel just at home. You know, I reached out to several of them. They said, Hugh, we support you 100%, and we're going to be there for you, and we want everything you want. And for that, coming from those men who had won championships, you know, I seen some of them on Friday night. They were wearing these nice big rings that we all want.
I have one. I have the pendant.
There you go. And we want one of those so bad. And we all understand we have to earn it. There's a lot of work to do in order to earn it. But to be around those men and to hear their passion for the university and for football and for wanting to help make a change, it moved me yet again, because that's what you need. We have an unbelievable momentum going, and we need to keep this going. And then to go in the weight room and be presented also with our strength and conditioning coach, Coach Nathaniel Leonard, a $5,000 check to go make improvements in our weight room. That meant so much to me. It meant that these men are putting their money where their mouths are. They're not just talking it, they're doing. And that's what it's all about.
Yes, that is amazing. And a lot of those guys are my brothers from the era when I was Miss Grambling and a student leader at Grambling. So that is so awesome. You also mentioned your friends from Pivot Podcast. They facilitated great conversations with you, the administration, and current and former NFL players. How did their presence affect the atmosphere?
You know, I couldn't thank them enough. I was on the Pivot Podcast and I issued a challenge to them to come out and be a part of our spring game and to help bring this energy that I'm looking for. And they accepted. You know, that says a lot. You know, it means to me that those relationships are still strong. For them to take some time out of their busy schedule and come to Grambling and say, hey, look, we want to find out exactly what you're doing here and what you're trying to accomplish, and how can we help you accomplish this? They stood out there for 2 hours and interviewed myself, the AD, Prez, student athletes. I mean, they were totally involved. They were at the game for a while. And to me, again, it says that we're moving in the right direction. We're doing the right things. Now what we need to do is continue to climb and build and get to where we all want to go, which is back to these championships that Grambling knows so well.
Yes, yes, that sounds good to me because the G Men are my favorite team in the whole world, and I am excited about the upcoming football season. Also, during your interview, you were very transparent about the needs of the program. You stated that you needed $5 million and that would change the face of the program. President Gallo assured you that you would get the support you needed. Are you also calling on alumni organizations, corporations, and angel donors to come alongside you to bring your vision into fruition?
Marva, I am. I'm not going to leave any stone unturned. I think our student athletes deserve it. I think Grambling State University football deserves it. I think Eddie Robinson's legacy deserves it. I think what we need to do is get Grambling back to being the best HBCU like it was back in the old days. There's no reason that we should be behind anybody. We're Grambling, baby, right?
Yes, we're Grambling. Yes, I love that, Coach. I love that. I
We talk
love that.
that.
You
So my
know,
challenge is to get everybody to be that. Let's go do this.
yes, yeah, like you said, let's be about it, not talk about it,
Mhm.
and let's walk that walk. And thank you for just really kind of expounding on that because sometimes people need to hear it from the leader. And
Mhm.
so, again, you all heard it from Coach Hue Jackson. Everybody, we need you to come together and get behind the program, whether you're an angel donor, if you are a secret fan of the G Men or Grambling State University, alumni groups. Coach Hue Jackson is asking for you to come alongside him, and let's get our facilities up to par so that our student athletes can perform without any hesitation, just with full confidence because they have what they need. Now let's get to the game. Let's get to the game. So some of the fans had never been to a spring game
Right.
before, and they were kind of confused on the structure. So can you please enlighten our audience about the purpose and structure of a spring game?
Absolutely. So a lot of people do it a lot of different ways. It's really another practice, but it's a chance for everybody to see the team do what they do. I didn't want to break the team up like some people hold a draft and they do those things, and that's a lot of fun. I get that, but I wanted to be offense and defense. I wanted to see our offensive coaches coach our offensive players, our defensive coaches coach our defensive players, and special teams as well. So I just made it more of a practice, but what I did do that was different is we wanted to show off all the different uniforms that we have. We had so many juniors there, and those young men are very impressed with the different uniforms that you can wear. So we had a structure that way so people could say, there's a lot of different combinations that we can get in as a university, as a football team, because we have that ability to do so. And I think all the young men, everybody that talked to me was so excited about all the different uniforms we have, but they were also excited about the way our team competed against each other, trying to do everything we could to be safe. We walked out of there with just one guy getting injured early, but it wasn't anything serious. So that's really how you want to end the spring. You want to end the spring on a great note, great energy, a lot of people seeing your football team come away injury free so everybody can get to training camp in one piece. And then that's where we finish building our football team.
Awesome. And let me ask you, after assessing, it's been about a week now. Actually, today makes a week. After, assessing the film from spring game, tell us how you feel about the offense and their performance.
Well, what I feel about the offense, where we are, we're still a group that's learning and growing. We're going to tweak some things real quick. I said this before. This was an offense that had really three different coordinators. We started
Hmm.
with Coach White, who left to go to the Houston Texans, which was tremendous for him. We had Art Browse for a while, and then John Simon jumped in. And this is really going to have, this is going to be the Grambling offense, but it's really going to have my flavor once we get started. So I feel really good about where we are, about where we're going to head in training camp. I will put that final stamp on it and get it moving with the rest of the offensive coaches, with John Simon being my right hand man. But I feel good about what we can become in training camp. And when I look at our defense, I'm more excited because I think Coach Thornton's done a really good job of laying the right foundation. They didn't go through as many changes as we did on offense. So I feel like there's a real foundation there that's been built. Same with special teams, but I really feel as a football team, we have a chance that if we'll keep growing, that these next several months Our guys can't forget football, even though there's finals coming up and we want them to do great in finals. But then there's going to be summer school, and there's going to be another chance for them, the summer workout program that they'll be involved in. And then we get ready for training camp. And by the time we get to training camp, we need to know who our football team will be. And I think if we can do that, then I think we got a good chance to make some noise this year.
Oh my God, that sounds so exciting, Coach. Now, listen, you played QB in high school and college, and you've coached Heisman QBs.
Mhm.
You are a guru at developing QBs.
Mhm.
What is your plan to mold us a GSU QB1 that can lead our G men to victory for years to come?
Marva, you just said it. I think that's my biggest challenge, that I
Mm,
want to find a quarterback one. We have to have a quarterback one on our football team, not a guy that we put out there and then put somebody else in, or we let a guy go and let this. No, we need a quarterback one. The team needs that. The team needs to have a guy that they can rally behind. The fans need to have a guy they can rally behind and say, that's our quarterback. And that guy's going to go take us to the championship.
yeah, we're excited about that, and we believe that you can do that. And Coach, again, I want to ask you about our alums, our G men, our former G men. How can they help you with recruiting um, in the future? How can G men and other alums who are coaching on a high school level help the program's recruiting?
Marva, they can do so much. The phone calls that they send into our facility, into our GM, which is Chris Scott, and they give him the information of the student athletes. They have sent transcripts. They have sent video or huddle links so that we can see them. They have been awesome. I'm gonna be very transparent here. We need to do our part. We
Yes.
need to embrace this when they send, thank them for the information. It doesn't mean we're going to recruit them all, but it means that we appreciate them going the extra mile to make sure that we know about every kid that's in the state and giving us the best opportunity to recruit them. Some kids are going to go other places. Our profile for the players we want in a certain position might be a little bit different, but what's most important is that they're doing their part. So on the other side, we have to do our part of making sure that we thank them for the information given, making sure that there's communication between the two, and then making great decisions for our football program as we move forward.
That is amazing. So you all heard that Coach Chris Scott is the general manager, and you can find him on Twitter if you just search his name, and also I'm sure you can find him on our GSU Graham.edu website. So
Mhm.
again, Coach Chris Scott, for any recruits that you want to forward to the football program. Now, this year's spring game not only brought excitement for the fans, but also recruits. You hosted Junior Day during spring game weekend. Tell us how many juniors attended and where were some of them from?
We had 500 juniors there.
Wow.
First, we start in the state of Louisiana. Then we had some Dallas, and we had some Georgia, and we had some Alabama. It was phenomenal. They came from all over because I think there's an excitement about Grambling State University football right now, and we got to keep it that way. And we get it. We got to do our part too. We got to go put a product on the field that everybody can get excited about and get behind, and that's what's going to truly open the rest of the country to see Grambling State University as they really should. But we're going to make our mark at home. We have to. There's so many student athletes here. We're going to do a great job here at home and make sure that we do anything and everything we can to keep our local talent home. But obviously, there's going to be others from other states that's going to come to Grambling State because they're going to want to come here and play for the G-Man. That's for sure.
Yes, yes. And that's so phenomenal. You invited 500 G Men Nation to the game, but you got 500 juniors. So
Yes.
you got 500 somewhere in the mix, okay? Well, Coach, we're going to wrap up this interview, but before we go, I just want to ask you, you've been in the boot for a while, and we say Louisiana has some of the best food in the world.
Oh,
What
man.
is your favorite dish or seafood since you've been in Louisiana?
Well, I'm a gumbo guy. It is the best. I've had different versions of it from a lot of different places. It's all been good. I need to be very careful eating here because you can put on weight pretty fast there and it's hard to get off. But I just, again, Marvin, before we go, I just have to thank everybody, all the support, everybody who came out to the spring game, all the G-Man Nation, everybody who's associated with the program. I just need to thank you personally for being there. Our players were energized and excited about having you there. And I can promise everybody this: whatever you do for us, we're going to try to do double for you. We're going to be very transparent in the things you give to make sure you know exactly what you're giving and where we're putting it at. And we're also going to make sure that we thank you as many times as we can and be very sincere and very organic about that, because you guys who are doing all of this around the scenes for us are the real MVPs for us as we move forward through this season. So thank you so much.
Coach, let me say this. I want to thank you for these few minutes. And the audience, I know they are just beaming with joy. And I think you were so authentic and it came from your heart. And we thank you for thanking us. And I think that's what's, going to help us to come together as Graham fam. We are Graham family, and
Mm-hmm.
we welcome you to Grambling State University. And let me say this: thank you all for tuning in. I am Marva Nichols, Miss Grambling State University, 1991-92, and a partner with the Icon Collective, reporting for MTMV Sports. Thank you guys for tuning in.